Okay, let's go to wide receivers, and our number one wide receiver is Russell Gage. Again, I don't know that I'm necessarily immediately trusting him, but with the Chris Godwin injury, there is going to be some opportunities there and what we expect to be a pretty pass-heavy offense there in Tampa Bay. Top 4 in terms of wide receiver targets and receptions, yards, and touchdowns in 2021. They throw a lot. Last season, when he got 6 or more targets, he averaged 16.6 fantasy points per game. He's solid. Yep. There's no upside to Russell Gage, but like if you need you need a floor wide receiver, that's Russell Gage.
Yeah, and I think we talk about the Miami offense not being able to support 2 running backs. A Tom Brady offense can absolutely support 3 wide receivers, and that will be Evans, Gage, and Julio, who looked better than expected against the Cowboys. Now, another guy who's going to be very popular is Josh Palmer, particularly this week as a streaming option if Keenan Allen misses against Kansas City. How high are you on Josh Palmer? Yeah,
I'm pretty high. Look, we talked a lot about DeAndre Carter yesterday and yesterday's show as well. But, look, I think in terms of volume last season, when Keenan Allen or Mike Williams was out, and we expect Keenan Allen to be out on Thursday. As you mentioned, we didn't get to the hamstring injury, but short turnaround, left the game. They played the Thursday night game against the Chiefs. He averaged 16.4 fantasy points per game when either Keenan Allen or Mike Williams is out. Again, we expect Keenan Allen to be out on Thursday. Palmer had a great preseason. I know DeAndre Carter caught the touchdown. I prefer Josh Palmer, and I actually will say that, again, as we sort of talk about bench stash versus do I need to start, it's all about roster construction. If I need somebody this week, give me Josh Palmer in a high-scoring game against the Chiefs, then Russell Gage, who's fine, you know what I mean, who's solid. If I need more bench depth, if I need hey, I got a bunch of high upside, high variance guys, I just need a floor guy, Russell Gage is somebody that I would mention. Let's move to my Commanders. Hail to the Commanders, my 1-0 Commanders, my tied for first place in the division. Commanders, hail to the Commanders, hail victory. Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel played 71% of the offensive snaps.
He's back.
Jay, Curtis Samuel looked healthy.
He looked good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
8 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Gets 11 targets. He's also their backup running back, effectively. And also, I hate to say this to you with all these jerseys behind you, but Washington offense might be good. It might actually be pretty good. There's a lot of pieces there.
Cheer for Scott.
Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson's now the favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. After 1 week, he's the favorite. He's jumped everyone. So I think that there might be some room to move for Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I think so too. 11 targets against Jacksonville. I think this is going to be a pass-happy offense. I think whatever we collectively as a community think about Carson Wentz, I think in Washington, they're like, we've got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a real quarterback. All due respect to Dwayne Haskins and Taylor Heineke and Alex Smith and Kyle Allen and Garrett Gilbert and some of the guys they've run out there the last couple of years. Carson Wentz, again, we always talk about, he's a real quarterback. He has a big arm. He can make all the throws. Does he make some boneheaded mistakes? He does. But even after 2 bad interceptions, they dialed up some big pass plays. One to McLaurin down the right side, Jahan Dotson on the left side. They feel like they've got a quarterback there, and they're going to open it up. Curtis Samuel, of course, coming from Carolina the way that Ron Rivera and Scott Turner did as well. Speaking of Jahan Dotson, he's available in 76% of leagues. This is a guy who was the 17th best wide receiver in fantasy. Again, he scored the 2 touchdowns on 5 targets. I don't know that you expect that kind of efficiency, but I will tell you that after Terry McLaurin, he played the most offensive snaps. He played 68. McLaurin played 69. He's an every down player for a team that threw the ball over 40 times last week. And I will tell you from training camp, this is not a fluke. They love him there in Washington. I know a lot of the people on that staff, they do nothing but rave about Jahan Dotson.
Feel a lot better about Jahan Dotson than I do George Pickens, for instance, who's wide receiver 3 in that Pittsburgh offense. Also feel better about Dotson than the next guy we're going to talk about, Romeo Douglas in Chicago, who had 4 receptions, 37 yards. He didn't do nothing, but I would take Dotson over Dobbs at this point.
Fair, but 15% target share in his NFL debut. Bad game for Aaron Rodgers. Again, remember week 1 last year?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is brutal. 38-3, and then they came out he's still, let's get Alan Lazard back there. Let's get that offense running. They're at home this week. Excuse me. They are at home this week on Sunday night on NBC.
Yeah.
Home to the Bears.
10-point favorites.
10-point favorites. Come on.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers in prime time at home in Lambeau after being embarrassed. What do you think he does?
Yeah, I think he's going to light it up.
He's a bad man.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
He's a bad man. I'm willing to give Romeo Douglas another chance. Available in 66% of leagues. Again, a 15% target share in his NFL debut. Not so bad. Very quickly, I'm going to run through a couple quick names. Robbie Anderson, he might be back. This is a guy who was good, then bad last year, but with Baker.
More targets than DJ Moore against Cleveland. And
32% target share against the Cleveland Browns, and the Panthers only threw 27 times.
Yep.
Expectation here is that increases. So he plays the Giants this week. We like that matchup. Robbie Anderson might be back. We know he's been productive before. DJ Shark got the second most targets on the Lions in week 1, played 81% of the offensive snaps. As we wait for Jameson Williams to get back for that Lions offense, DJ Shark is also somebody that has proven successful in his career previously. My old friend Ron Chandler, who does fantasy baseball, always used to say, once you display a skill, you own it. Again, Robbie Anderson has been a fantasy productive wide receiver in the NFL. DJ Shark has been a fantasy productive wide receiver in the NFL. It hasn't been recently, which is why they went so low or they're available, but we know that skill is there.
Detroit offense might kind of be good as well. 35 points against the Eagles. Jared Goff, when he's kept clean, is a fine NFL quarterback. That offensive line is good, and I think he can support multiple pass catches. Offense that might not be that good. Zay Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence did not look good against your Commanders. What are you making of Zay Jones?
I like Zay Jones. 9 targets, which was tied for the most among Jacksonville skill players. He ran around on 71% of his snaps. And, he's a nice little player. Zay Jones was a second-round pick. It got weird for him in Buffalo. He's bounced around a little bit. But they signed him. And the thing you have to understand is Jacksonville's going to throw.
Yep.
This is a Doug Peterson offense. Former NFL quarterback Doug Peterson, Andy Reid disciple Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach with Philadelphia Doug Peterson. They want to throw. They're going to have to because of that defense. They have Trevor Lawrence. They have a lot of skilled players. They want to get ETN out in space as well. They're going to set up play action with James Robinson. This is a team that's going to throw. And so I do think we all like Christian Kirk. I think Zay Jones, I watched that game obviously very closely, when the Jaguars got defeated by my Washington Commanders. Hail the Commanders, hail victory. But they were throwing a ton.
Average depth of target for Trevor Lawrence, 10.6 yards through the air. Only Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady threw it deeper on average. There's going to be yards there. Quickly, in terms of potential drops, Kadarius Toney, Devontae Parker, you're dropping either of those guys.
I am. Kadarius Toney,
wow.
even with, listen, I get the upside, right? And so if you want to hang on, but the fact of the matter is, for whatever reason, it does not seem like the New York Giants coaching staff, the new coaching staff of Brian Daboll and his team like him.
No.
They weren't getting anything going. Wan'Dale Robinson leaves that game early, and still Kadarius Toney can't do anything. In a game they won.
Yeah.
Right? They were moving the ball. And that offense is Saquon Barkley, and I still like Wan'Dale Robinson. He's day-to-day. It doesn't seem like that's real serious. So it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen for Kadarius Toney. As for Devontae Parker, it's a run-first offense that looks bad in New England, and they've got a lot of guys there.
Yep.
Hunter Henry and Jacoby Myers. They got Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. It's just a lot of guys. I can't imagine Devontae Parker ever having consistent week-to-week fantasy value in that offense.
No, I can't see it either.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.